have a gambling problem.
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife would left me, or she'd be starving, or my kids would be starving. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
All right, so I'm interested in who you have to win the NFC North. We've got the Lions plus 140, Packers plus 200, Bears plus 275, or the Vikings plus 950.
Yeah, the Packers are my favorite team in the NFC. They're like my early pick to win the Super Bowl. So I plus 200. It's a ton of value to win that division. The Bears are juiced up because of Hard Knocks, and there's this whole narrative around the Bears is crazy. And then the Lions are juiced up also coming off of last season. And I think you should flip the Packers and the Lions as far as value. The Lions are coming off of a huge letdown or tough gut punch in San Francisco, and the Packers are coming off like a 6-game winning streak and then getting to San Francisco and bringing all that energy into this season. And they have Jordan Love, who's the best player in the conference. NFC, this all ties together. AFC North, NFC North. I was listening to them. They're saying Justin Fields has a legitimate chance at starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers were 30-1 to win the Super Bowl 2 weeks ago. Now they're like 80-1. The market hates Justin Fields. He's not good. He's never been good. He's never been good for like 3 consecutive weeks. I held on hope for longer than most for who he was going to be, and I'm done. I'm out. I'm done. I sold my Justin Fields stock at the basement. I lost all my money, and that's just how it goes sometimes. And they were saying on this pod that his legitimate case is mismanagement from Chicago. So like, which is it? Are the Bears this horrible franchise that like threw away Justin Fields' entire first 5 seasons and like did all these are they good or are they bad? Because they were definitely terrible all the way up until last year. They've had a really horribly run organization. Like they've been really bad forever. So now all of a sudden they're really, really good. Like, yeah, they're better, but like they're like, you know what I mean? How could they be that much better? Like last year they stunk.
Yeah. I think they had a pretty good roster last year. Just Fields was that bad. Fields was really bad. They were in a lot of close games, and Fields played about as bad as you could for.
Why did somebody? They all love him. Everyone loves him. It's really bizarre. Like he's like a strange enigma. Ayuk was saying he'll take less money to go to Pittsburgh because he wants to play with Fields. It's like, dude, Fields will never he can't throw you the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people like him still after what we've seen so far, because we both liked him and we're high on him, but then we just watched with our eyes.
Yeah.
And we bet him several times. And I guess when you bet him over and over and you watch with your eyes over and over, eventually it sinks in. And we were out on him fairly quickly, like over a season of like a full season of seeing Justin Fields. It was just like, he doesn't have it. He's not getting better. He's making the exact same mistakes week in and week out. That was the biggest thing. And, but the rest of the team was actually pretty decent. Like there were certain games where they played really well and just Fields would just fall apart. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm right on the fence of thinking the Bears are going to be good. I don't know yet.
I think I think they're a pure fade for now. Here's my prediction is Caleb's awesome, but he's a rookie. So they're going to be overvalued coming into the season, coming off of Hard Knocks. And like I said, if we are buying into this Kool-Aid, I can't even imagine what the like regular football fans are. So I think they're a fade week 1, and then I think they become more and more of a fade the better that they play for like the first few, like the more juiced up their lines get, the more. So like, and maybe they'll just like play bad week 1 and then it'll be over with. But like the better they play and don't cover or win games, the more well, I already know how this is gonna go. And if they actually are good, we'll figure it out in week 3 or 4. But I already know I'm gonna be wanting to fade them probably that whole first quarter of the year.
Yeah,
Um,
I think you're absolutely right.
and okay, and my NFC North like hierarchy is Packers, Lions. I wanted to say the Bears. I'm like, fade the Bears. Bears. Packers. Okay. So the Packers are plus 200 to win the division. The Lions are plus 140, and the Bears are plus 275. So I just think the Bears are way too expensive, which means that, and the Lions are too expensive too.
Yeah, Bears are plus 275, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I
seems
think
very juiced up.
that should be like, I think the Bears. I mean, dude, the Bears, they had the number 1 pick.
When's the last time they've won the division?
Dude, yeah, okay. Rex Grossman. They're it's just a super juiced up line. Like I think I would like consider it at plus 500. I would consider the Bears to win the division at plus 500. And so it's at a 50%, a 200% markup, whatever. And the Lions, like we talked about, are coming off of a pretty disappointing year. And I don't really see the argument for why the Lions are better than the Packers. They both finished their season against the 49ers in Santa Clara. They both played them great all the way through the first half. The difference is the Lions were super physical and their defense was good, and the Packers defense was horrible last year. And I think you get the best player in the conference, or definitely the best player on the two teams, Jordan Love in Green Bay, and or you have like Jared Goff, and they have a bunch of talented guys around him. I would rather have Love and Watson. I think Christian Watson's sick, and so you Love and Watson as like the 1-2, and I like St. Brown a lot, but if the Packers can get like a middle of the pack defense, I think they should cruise to that division. But most importantly, just the betting value at plus 200, because Lions are juiced, Bears are juiced, the Vikings are. I mean, I saw a report they were trying to trade for Derek Carr. Like, guys, just tank. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you guys aren't that good anyway. Like, you know.
Yeah. I'm pretty in line with you as far as the Packers go, being like the value pick. The playing devil's advocate, I'm a little worried, honestly, about Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones was really good last year, and Josh Jacobs was awful. As soon as he got paid by the Raiders and got his money, he was really bad last year. And so I've yet to be convinced that he's going to be an upgrade for the Packers. As far as the Lions go, I wouldn't say last season was disappointing. I would say it was more of like a crushing finish to a great season, right? Where they were
way better. That's way better way of saying what I was thinking.
They were so up, they were so juiced, they were all bought in. They really thought they go up 24-7 against the Niners. They're going to the Super Bowl essentially, right? They're sticking it to them the entire first half. Mm-hmm. Then a couple fluke things happen. The ball goes off the face mask. Ayuk makes that catch.
The game was insane.
It just falls apart. They go for it on 2 4th downs, and it just kind of all unraveled. And I think sometimes ending a season that way, where it's so much of a gut punch and a letdown, it's really hard to get all the way back up and be stoked for the next season. As they were coming into last season, just everyone's so bought in and so excited for the year. So I think you're right. I think they have more talent. I think their offensive line is probably the number one offensive line in football, which is why Jared Goff is so good all of a sudden. He's like a top 10 quarterback with the number one offensive line. But you'll take Love over Goff every single time. And I think over the course of a season, you're going to want the team that's more motivated, more excited, has the juice, and has potentially the best player in the entire NFC. And you're getting a really good number, plus 200 to win the division. So I'm with you on that. Another one that I really like that's similar would be the Bengals in the AFC North. At the last I saw, they were plus 160, plus 170. Mm-hmm. And the Bengals in that division are as good a bet as the Packers, potentially better. I'm not so high on the Ravens this year. Last year, I was all in on the Ravens. It's funny how different a year can be, but the Ravens losing three offensive linemen.
Talk about the gut punch. Like you just mentioned,
totally.
the Lions are going to come into this season literally with the exact opposite mentality that they came into last season with, and I think the Packers are going to come into this season with the momentum from last season, and then the Ravens are going to have the opposite. They're like, I mean, dude, they really, really kind of underperformed again in the playoffs.
Totally. Every year in the NFL, there's an average or a minimum of 4 new playoff teams every year. And a lot of it has to do with that sort of momentum and those sort of letdowns. And I think the Ravens are potentially they're on. I mean, I don't think a lot of people think this, but I think that the Ravens are a team that are potentially in danger of missing the playoffs, because I don't think you can just casually lose 3 of your starting offensive linemen. And especially like they're starting their second year, 7th round draft pick from last year. He's just on the starting line this year. They lost 2 offensive linemen to the Jets. And I think it's a huge loss and it's going to be a huge learning curve, specifically for new linemen who are trying to block for Lamar Jackson, where they've blocked for pocket passers probably their entire football lives. And Lamar Jackson is completely different than anything they've ever seen before. The way he moves the pocket and just he rarely ever takes a snap, drops back, and throws the ball. Everything is different with Lamar. So I think that's going to be a huge learning curve. They added Derrick Henry. I don't know how good Derrick Henry is going to be. And if there's no offensive line, I could. And they also have no real wide receiver weapons. Like Zay Flowers is their best offensive threat. I just think it could be a really bad season for the Ravens. Then we look at the Browns. We look at the Browns, and neither of us like the Browns.
I hate the Browns.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, though, because the market is agreeing with us over the last week or so. The Browns and Steelers are both in the plus 500 ranges for the division. And, dude,
well, you look at the Browns being close to the playoffs last year, that was really because Joe Burrow was out, right? I think if Joe Burrow was healthy, the Bengals would have made the playoffs. They
pretty good. Actually, I think this is a really good one. The only weird thing that I've been hearing is, and maybe I actually have kind of already flip-flopped on it, but I've heard so many people say that Joe Burrow has an injury in his wrist that no one in the history of no one's ever had before. No quarterback's ever had the specific injury that he has. But at first I was like, oh, that sounds fucking bad. But then the more I think about it, it's like, but that's just something cool. Like it just sounds like something people say that have shows. Like, what do you mean he's never? Who cares? Like, what are you talking about? Is it healed? Did it fix? Is he fixed? He seems to be fine. Like he's not on the injured. He's not
Maybe he's like Henry Rowengartner and he's just going to throw missiles. He can now throw the ball the full length of the field.
He's just funky butt love. Did he just say funky butt love it?
Good, good. And now rotate from the shoulder slowly.
Oh! Funky butt loving.
Did he say funky butt loving?
Oh!
Seldon Seldon texted me the other day that his kid Hunter, who's like 9, he goes Hunter found rookie of the year. He's been watching it 3 times a day. I go I texted him back. I said, tell him I said funky butt love it, and he goes, hey bro, he says it all day.
Really quick, why do we hate the Browns so much? Other than I hate Watson.
I hate Stefanski.
Should we just say we're just out on the Browns and just never even talk about the Browns? Just like we're out on the Browns every.
Oh, hey, you want to know why I hate the Browns? How about the fucking guy with 30 sexual assault cases is getting paid $65 million this year?
That is a good point. 25% of the entire team salary.
Reason number one, the guy who hasn't had a good season playing football in 4 seasons, who has 30 sexual assault
since
allegations.
Clemson, getting $2.5 million
Yeah, dude, fuck the Browns. We're out.
Fuck them, they're out.
We're out on the Browns, dude.
Steelers are out.
And then you go, whoa, plus 525.
Who's their backup?
Okay.
The
So
defense is sick.
AFC North prices for betting on the winner of the AFC North: Ravens plus 145, Bengals plus 160, Browns and Steelers plus 550.
Yeah, I'm out on the Steelers. I'm out on the Browns. I think they're going to suck. I think between the Ravens and the Bengals, I think the Bengals are the more talented team. I think they have the better quarterback. I think Joe Burrow entering the season healthy is going to be a huge incentive for them to start the season hot. And then the Ravens have lost 3 offensive linemen. Mark Andrews has been hurt the last couple of years. Zay Flowers is their best offensive weapon. I just think the Bengals all around have a better team. Last thing of note, I think it's a big deal that the Ravens lost their defensive coordinator to Seattle. So I'll take the Bengals.
Yeah, the Browns suck. Everybody knows that.
That's fair.